Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to Shadow Stitch TCG, and today we are going to be continuing our coverage of the Basic Battle League Season 2. And today, we are going to be looking at my team that I drafted a little bit more in depth. So if you watched the nice long hour-and-a-half long video that we did with some of the other coaches, we went over every single team that got drafted in the league. And but today we're going to be looking at my team a little bit more in depth. So if you want to see everybody's team, feel free to watch that video. It was really fun to do with the other coaches, and it's really neat. So anyway, so that's it. So today we're going to be looking at my draft a little bit more in depth. So like I said in that video, I wanted from the start to draft Sun. You can see the squad up there, and I think it's a pretty decent squad for just Sun offense and Sun support in general. So we have the Darmanitan, we have Unnovan Darmanitan, we have Venusaur, and we have a Cantonian Ninetales for just the little Sun package right there. We also have Xatu, Girder, for some defog and hazard control in general, and a little bit of priority with the Girder. And then you have Seismitoad Goodra, which are really good defensive pairing, and just really good heavy hitters if I need them to be. And of course, Seismitoad is a great rain answer if anybody does choose to bring rain, or just water type answer in general with Water Absorb. We have the two Meowth evolutions in Alolan Persian and Berserker. I originally wasn't planning on this, but I just noticed that right after I started that. But I got two Meowth evolutions, so yeah, that's kind of neat. So, but Alolan Persian gives me some good regular speed on the team. If you notice, my team is rather slow outside of Sun or Trick Room, of course. So Alolan Persian with that 115 base speed tier gives me a little bit of regular speed and something that could potentially switch into a knockoff and deal out knockoffs of its own, which is really good. Berserker, really strong Pokemon in general, 110 base attack, has respectable defenses as well, and really slow, so good for Trick Room. And of course my G-Max is the G-Max Hatterene, super good Pokemon, and I really wanted a G-Max that could potentially help set up the Sun in case my Ninetales was heavily damaged. But so that's a quick overview. Let's go ahead and look at these Mons more in depth. So starting off with Darmanitan, this was my round 1 pick, my S-tier pick. Darmanitan, I was I knew that this was going to be my first pick, and I'm like, yeah, this Mon is definitely an S-tier Mon. It is just disgustingly strong in a draft league, especially under Sun like I have. And mostly we're going to be probably running Choice Scarf, because to patch up my speed weakness a lot of the time. But we can, and we have the Sheer Force, Flare Blitz in the Sun. Nothing really switches into this. It just nukes everything. We can run some more calcs later on when we look at more of the team matchups and stuff like that. But yeah, this thing is just absolutely disgustingly strong in the Sun with the Sheer Force ability. As U-turn for good getting out of there, we will likely be running Rock Slide as it is boosted by Sheer Force, and it's a little bit more accurate, of course. And Earthquake or Brick Break / Superpower, I believe that it also gets, yes, is going to be good coverage based on what we need, and we don't have to take recoil. So yeah, so this is most likely going to be a set that we're going to be running a lot. We could potentially run Choice Band or Life Orb or something like that a lot of the times. But yeah, so look forward to seeing these three Pokemon in general a lot of the times in my games, because I drafted Sun, I'm going to use Sun. So next up we got Venusaur. Venusaur is super important for a draft league format. It gives us a grounded poison, which lets us absorb toxic spikes, of course, and we don't really want a lot of our Mons getting toxic spiked and stuff like that, which is really good. So with the Chlorophyll ability in the Sun, of course, it's going to double its speed, which is really nice. And of course, we are in a draft league format, which means that we can tailor make our Venusaur to outspeed what we need. We will be able to prepare our Venusaur for what we need. And of course, even with it, the Chlorophyll 80 base speed is still nothing super amazing, but and will be outsped super fast Scarfers and stuff like that. But we can prepare for that, you know, which is nice. But biggest moveset addition, I'd say, is probably Earth Power, which is an amazing move that Venusaur got. Of course, Venusaur, with its stats, it is more of a special attacker. It did have Earthquake before, of course, but that made you split your EVs and stuff like that. And Earth Power is just a really, really good move for Venusaur to have. It gets Growth, of course, still gets Weather Ball, which it did have access to before, but it could never run it with Chlorophyll because it was a event-only move on a Overgrowth Venusaur. So has Giga Drain, of course, and, you know, of course, like, we don't always have to run our Venusaur as a speedy offense. We can run, like, Leech Seed, Sub, get Screens. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe it got Screens before this generation, which is kind of neat. We could even run it physical. You know, got, like, Power Whip, got, I guess, Outrage, Seed Bomb, stuff like that. Of course, it gets Sludge Bomb with the poison typing and stuff, Toxic, Synthesis, so really good just moveset in general for Venusaur, and a lot of versatility in just one Mon. Like, on paper, at first glance, it probably looks like a really straightforward Mon that we're going to be using to just run super offensive with with Chlorophyll and Growth, and, you know, just killing everything. Of course, it gets Sleep Powder. Yeah, kind of can't forget that. So one of the biggest moves in its moveset. Yeah, it's just like a super good Mon. Yeah, I really like it, but a lot of versatility, more than just the Chlorophyll, for sure. And of course, to bring the Sun package all together, we have regular old Cantonian Ninetales. Of course, Torkoal was available in the draft, of course, but it was an A tier, and I just didn't feel right using my A tier just for Torkoal. As we'll see a little bit later, we did choose in my opinion, a better A tier for the job. And normal old Alolan Ninetales still does a decent job. Also gives us some respectable speed with the 100 base speed. It outspeeds, I believe, every other weather setter except for Alolan Ninetales, which has 109. If I'm pretty sure, yeah. You know, has Energy Ball, has Will-O-Wisp, has Pain Split. So just good moves, and it's almost as strong as Torkoal, but of course Torkoal does, you know, read into like some Trick Room synergy like I have on the rest of the team, but that's okay. So yeah, Alolan regular old Cantonian Ninetales, just a good Mon in general. So some pseudo recovery with Pain Split can, you know, also run like maybe a sub Calm Mind set. You know, it gets Foul Play, gets Memento, which I don't think it had before this generation. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure. You know, can run Nasty Plot. Just a lot of good moves on it, and yeah. So of course, biggest thing is it's here to set up the Sun, so we want to keep him around as much as possible. So yeah, and also something to mention, we do have Darmanitan, which also gives us access to regular Zen mode Darmanitans. Now Zen mode is really tricky to use because to activate Zen mode, you have to be under half health. So that's kind of tricky to use for sure, but it does have a really low speed tier, so it can run in like Trick Room and be like super low. But yeah, can we maybe like run like a substitute, come in like on rocks, set up a substitute. We're going to be under our half health. We're going to transform into our Zen mode, and then we can just fire off some really strong special attacks. Which might catch our opponent off guard. So also has significantly more bulk in this form. Of course, we're going to be at half health, so I don't know how important that bulk is going to be, but still. But yeah, so yeah, definitely a gimmick, but something that maybe we can catch an opponent off guard with potentially. We'll see though. It should be interesting. But yeah, so that's the Sun package basically. It's mostly going to be looking forward to these 3 Mons making an appearance almost every other week, if not every week, because, I mean, I drafted Sun, so I'm going to use it, you know. Alright, next up, though, we got, I guess, the support package, I guess you can say. First up, we have Goodra. So Goodra, my original plan was I really wanted to get Noivern, because I wanted more speed on my team. But in the end, I think that picking the Goodra ended up being better for me because it not only adds like some more bulk, but also has amazing synergy with Seismitoad because it has that Sap Sipper ability, So Seismitoad, of course, 4 times weak to grass. Goodra comes in, is immune to the grass moves, and gets a +1 into the attack, which is really strong. So, and Goodra has a very respectable attack at 110, or 100, excuse me. So it can definitely run like some of its more physical offense moves, like most importantly, like say Power Whip. Also, it's like, you know, Earthquake, Rock Slide has physical moves up the butt, so it's really nice as well. So I mean, it's a pseudo legendary, so its stats are just absolutely amazing. And with an Assault Vest, this thing just will not fall over to special hits at all. So, of course, these like movesets are all like very generic. Like hell, my Seismitoad doesn't even have anything on it right now. So, but yeah, Draco Meteor, Fire Blast, Sludge Bomb is a good move for it. Thunderbolt. So like just a super good like normal pseudo legendary moveset. Excuse me. Dang, I cannot speak today apparently. So yeah, I did just wake up after all. So, but yeah, super good Pokemon. Great synergy with Seismitoad, which is the next mon that we're gonna be talking about. So Seismitoad, really good mon. I love this guy. You know, maybe if I need to, I can run the Rindo Berry. Of course, I do have the Goodra. So with this good Sap Sipper ability to help cover his weakness, but you know, if I do need to maybe run and set up on something or stay in on something or whatever, but you know, we get Stealth Rocks, we get Knockoff, we get Toxic, we get the Water Absorb ability, and we even get the Swift Swim ability. We get Scald, of course. Yeah, it's just a good mon in general. Like super bulky, like lots of HP. You know, 105 base HP, super good. Maxes out 414. Has decent offenses and very respectable defenses. Like it's all HP with this mon, but it still has decent defenses to back it up. 74 base speed is nothing really to write home about, but it does get the Swift Swim ability. So if our opponent does bring Swift Swim, we can potentially take advantage of that and run things like, say, Rock Slide or something like that. Get Sludge Bomb as well, which is a great little move to help out against grass types, so we can maybe stay in on grass types, eat a hit with our Rindo Berry, knock them back out if they're frail or lower in health with like a Sludge Bomb. It's really good. So this is a really good bulky mon in general. So yeah, just can't really hate on that. Can't really hate on Seismitoad. He's just like, I love this Pokemon. I've always loved this Pokemon since Generation 5. I used one basically any time that I didn't go Oshawott in a playthrough. It's just a really good mon in general. And yeah, good old, I mean, I know you guys have been seeing the WBE, if you're following that, Seismitoad doing that work. So yeah, really good mon in general. Alright, next up we got Hatterene. So Hatterene, I chose as my G-Max. Has a lot of like really important moves for this team. Also gets Magic Bounce, which for some godforsaken reason I completely forgot that it had. So I do actually have 2 Magic Bounce users on the team with the Xatu as well. But yeah, it got Trick Room. It got Nuzzle for some speed control as well, if I want to run that. But also it has Mystical Fire, which will let it set up the sun in G-Max form, which is very important if my Ninetales is critically injured or something like that, which is really good. So also gets Healing Wish. Healing Wish is an incredibly important move on Sun teams, in my opinion. So Healing Wish fully heals the Pokemon when you bring it in any damaged Pokemon, and it will trigger before hazards. So if my Ninetales is down, and I do not have any heavy-duty boots on it or anything like that, and I'm down in the range of getting knocked out by rocks, Healing Wish will come in before and allow me to set up the sun with again, and because it will fully heal my Ninetales before the rocks trigger. And yeah, also Healing Wish did get a buff this generation. Before, if you immediately switched into another Pokemon that was full health, your Healing Wish would essentially be wasted. But so if you have a if you go for Healing Wish and then you switch into like say my Seismitoad at full health, it will remember that Healing Wish is still active. So it will not trigger on the Seismitoad Toad because, of course, it is at full health. But anytime I switch my Seismitoad Toad back out, or if I keep switching into full health Pokemon, it will keep remembering that Healing Wish is there. So it does not matter how many turns after I have used the Healing Wish, my Healing Wish will activate as soon as I bring in a full health Pokemon, which is an amazing buff for Healing Wish. Before you had to switch into your damaged Pokemon right after the Healing Wish. So yeah, so Gmax Hatterene, super good mon. It's, obviously an amazing special attacker, has good special defense, actually respectable normal defense, but really low HP. So that should be, but of course it's my Gmax mon, so it's going to take hits. And yeah, it's just a really good mon in general. I really like it. Yeah, looking forward to definitely using this mon for sure. So I do not know why I keep clicking the wrong button. So yeah, and then last but not least, we have the my C tier picks. These are actually all of my C tier picks. So like I said, we got Berserker, super duper strong Pokemon, 110 base attack, has the Tough Claws ability, gets access to close combat, like Iron Head, Throat Chop. Unfortunately, does not get knockoff. Like, if this thing got knockoff, that'd be amazing. U-turn for nice, switching synergy and stuff like that, momentum and stuff. Definitely going to be maybe running this Pokemon in a Trick Room mode, potentially. Does have 50 base speed, which is super good in Trick Room, but Choice Band, Close Combat, Iron Head, Throat Chop, U-turn. I'm pretty sure that if I use this is probably going to be the set that I'm going to be using, because, like, this thing hits hard. It hits hard. Tough Claws. All these moves are going to be boosted by Tough Claws. And it's just going to be, like, a really nice, strong Pokemon to be running, and I like it. So, Alolan Persian, like I said, this was my pick for speed. Yeah, like, I was considering it a while ago, and yeah, it's like, when the draft was getting low and I saw it was still around, like, originally maybe I kind of wanted Boltund, which is like a higher speed tier than this, but I think that this is still a good pick, because I also needed something that can, like, maybe switch into knockoffs and stuff like that. But also runs knockoff of its own, which is really nice. Gets Parting Shot, gets Stab Foul Play, gets Taunt, has Fur Coat, could also potentially run some gimmicky stuff with, like, Rattled and like Weakness Policy. But a lot of time he's going to be dedicated to, like, switching into knockoffs, so I might run, like, Rocky Helmet and stuff like that. Full health, not full health. It doesn't have, like, amazing health, but, full health for speed. We're not really using this guy a lot for damage, because, its offenses aren't great, but it does get, like, Nasty Plot and stuff like that. So who knows? We might run, like, offensive Alolan Persian every now and then. But yeah, I mean, 75 base special attack is respectable. I mean, it's not amazing, don't get me wrong, but it's respectable for sure. I kind of wish this was switched with this physical attack, honestly, but yeah, what you gonna do, right? Alright, so next up we got Girder. So Girder, super good little Pokemon. Like, I really like Conkeldurr as a Pokemon. Like, you guys are gonna realize I love Generation 5. So, like, anything that comes out of Generation 5, I absolutely love it. So, but yeah, Girder is, it's a great Eviolite user. So, he has this 85 base defense, which is amazing. He has a base 50 special defense, but with the Eviolite, that comes to roughly, I believe, 83 base special defense, which is respectable. And his defense comes up to, I think, like 124 or something like that. Like, something really good. Not 120. No, maybe it's like 114. I don't remember. But yeah, it's really good. Good HP as well for a non-evolved Pokemon. And 105 attack is just fantastic. Of course, 40 base speed, really good for a Trick Room synergy as well. So, but yeah, Girder gets knockoff back thanks to Pokemon Home, which is awesome. Gets Drain Punch, gets Mach Punch, and also gets Defog, which is an interesting new move. So, usually my first round opponent actually is Bob, and he has Bisharp, and I believe like that's like really the only scary Defiant user in the draft. But or, like there's a couple others, like there's Passimian and stuff like that. But yeah, Defiant Bisharp is definitely super scary. So I can probably EV this mon to like Livy any hit from the Bisharp. I can probably EV it to probably kill it with Mach Punch, even with the Choppleberry, hopefully. I don't know. I still have to run a lot of calcs, but yeah, Defog is like a super good move on Girder, in my opinion, and it means that I don't have to fully rely on my Xatu or my Hatterene to Magic Bounce and stuff like that as well. So I think that this is a great mon. This is probably going to be the set that I'm going to be running a lot of the times, not going to lie. But yeah, Drain Punch for a nice recovery. Knockoff is just good move. I mean, move is good. What can you say? Mach Punch for some good priority as well. So, which is also something that my team is lacking. I am lacking priority. But yeah, Xatu, pretty interesting Pokemon as well. Gets a lot of really cool moves. So yeah, Magic Bounce, of course. Anytime like I was running Sun in Generation 5, I was running a Xatu or a Espeon. And yeah, so Xatu is a really cool Pokemon because it has like a 95 base speed tier, which is a very respectable speed tier as well. But it also gets the move Teleport. So now, if you haven't played like any competitive since before Let's Go, you may see Teleport and be like, why the heck are you even running that? So now let me tell you something about Teleport. In Let's Go, it got a big change. So before it just did nothing in battle, obviously, but they made it a U-turning type move. But not only a U-turning type move or like a baton pass type move, but it also has -6 priority. So now the important thing is in Pokemon sometimes is you really want slow U-turns. But with a Pokemon like Xatu, sometimes that's kind of hard to do because you have such a good speed tier. And you're going to be wanting to probably run some speed on your Xatu as well. So that's like super important to have a fast Pokemon that can also potentially run slow U-turn, which is really cool. And I really like the change that they made to Teleport. I think it's like a super cool change, very unique. And I really like it. So, but yeah, also gets Wish. Wish is pretty nice, to help recover the rest of the team. Of course, it gets Roost for its own recovery as well, but could be really nice. Defog, of course, for getting immune to hazards. It only takes rocks damage, and it hovers above like any spikes or toxic spikes as well, which is really nice. So good defogger if I let the hazards get out of control. But of course, I have 2 Magic Bounce users, so that's good. Also gets Baton Pass, so I could potentially like run like some Calm Mind, Baton Pass shenanigans. I don't think it gets like Agility or anything like that, but it does get like Tailwind, which is another great form of speed control, so that would be good. Yeah, just a good moment in general. And of course, Trick Room. This is my only other Trick Room setter, I believe. So yeah, but yeah, so that's the team. That's the team that we are going to be bringing for the Basic Battle League Season 2, and I'm very confident in my draft. I think it's a good draft. Like, some Pokemon seem a little lackluster, like maybe the Berserker, the Alolan Persian seem a little lackluster, but they will serve their roles, in my opinion, and yeah, so we're going to be up against Bob first with the Baltimore Oricorios, so we can take a quick gander at his team, I believe. So if I can find it, where is he? There he is. So, let's see. Yeah, let's see. Transfer. Let's blow this up a little bit. So, yeah, this is the team that we're going to be going up against in round week 1. He has the Como, he has the Alolan Ninetales, Bisharp, which is super scary. He has Salazzle, which could be a problem, and Jellicent, super bulky. So it's a great mix of offense and defense. Of course, like he has opposing weather, and he has Aurora Veil and everything like that too, which is really cool. And of course, the Gigantamax Pikachu, so the big boy himself. So yeah, we do have Seismitoad. We'll have to watch out for like max overgrowths and stuff like that from him. But we do have Venusaur, which is a pretty decent Pikachu answer as well. So yeah, super good. Decent, very good draft. I actually like his draft a lot. The Rotom is nice defog support, rapid spin for Galarian Mr. Mime with a good speed tier. So yeah, really cool draft. So that's what we're going to be going up against week number 1. Look forward to that video. Hopefully going to be out next Saturday, because we'll be liking playing our game on Friday. Hopefully Friday evening. At least that's what I'm hoping. But anyway, so wish me luck in this week and the weeks going forward. That's the team that I picked up, and I really like it. So yeah, good luck to everybody else in the league. I am super happy to be here, and yeah, gonna be fun. All right. Anyway, that's gonna be it for me today, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Deuces.